Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In today's tutorial I'll be showing you how to draft that Basque Corset. So let's get started. The first thing you do is to mark 1 inch, which is going to serve as your shoulder line. So from there, measures your full front length. Okay, so mine is 17 inches. So measure it downward and connect the lines. So from there, measure 8 inches downward, which is going to serve as your hip length. So with that 8 inches, you have a complete blouse, like a complete top. Okay, so measure it downward and connect the lines as well. And please, if this is your first time of tuning in, please kindly subscribe and don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Thank you if you like this video. So from there, go ahead and measure your shoulder just like I did. So from that shoulder line, measure 1 inch downward and connect your shoulder. Like divide your shoulder measurement by 2 and then connect it to the shoulder slope. So from there, go ahead and measure your bust point. Just like you see me did, and connect the lines. Go ahead and measure your under bust as well. And connect the lines too. So please guys, don't forget to subscribe. Okay, so from there, go from your bust point, all right, go up by 1.5 inch, and that is going to serve as your across chest. Okay, note we have the shoulder front, we have the across chest, we have the shoulder back, and we have the across back. Okay, so for that 1.5, that's going to serve as your across chest. So just like you see me, I've gone ahead to indicate your chest, your across chest, your bust point, your under bust, your waistline, and your hip line. Okay, so okay, that's good. Just go ahead and divide your bust span by 2. Mine is 7, so I actually divided it by 2 and it gives me 3.5. So I marked it from my bust line all the way to my hip line, and then I connect the lines. So after connecting the lines, go ahead and divide your cross chest measurement. I think I'll need to do the tutorial on how to take body measurement. Okay, so divide your cross chest measurement and put it on the across line. Okay, go ahead and measure your bust. So whatever you have from there, measure your bust, measure your hips too. Okay, take your body's measurement. My bust is 35 divided by 2 and it gives me 3.10, 8.5 rather guys. And then my waist is 28, I divided by 4 and it gives me 7. So I saw my hips too is 36, I divided by 4 and it gives me 9. So from there, the distance from your bust line to your across chest, like the distance from there to there, you can connect, divide it by 4. So that's how you get the armhole ankle, all right, the curve there. So go ahead and from the midpoint, measure the length from the length of your shoulder to your across chest, divide the midpoint by 2 and take in by 0.3, and then contour your arm, or just like you see on the screen. Please, if you don't understand what I'm doing, just be patient with me and connect it, follow what I'm doing, all right. And please don't forget to subscribe, okay, so I can always get notification, so you can always get notifications, and so that YouTube can always recommend my videos. All right, thank you. So from there, just like I did, you connect your the straight lines there, you connect your bust to your hips measurement. All right, so from there, whatever you have, you divided that into 3. Okay, you shared it that just like you see me. I I hope you are getting it. Like the distance from on my waistline, just divide it by three. Whatever you have, that's what you're going to share your dart. You don't just assume the dart. Note the dart differs. It could be one depending on how tiny your waist is. So I came up to the bust line and bring down 2 inches. The 2 inches is going to serve as my side bust, like my side bust dart. All right, how I got the 2 inches that is that my full front length is 17. Note my full front length, which is also called the half length, is different from my um, back measurement. So my back measurement is going to be from the midpoint of your shoulder, all right, to your hollow part of your back. That's where you're going to use your back measurement. So mine is 15 for the back, but for the front is 17. So in order for it to align together when you are sewing the side seam, just measure 2 inches, just like you see me did. So go down to your bust point and whatever you have to get the under bust tightening, right? Whatever you have, like your bust minus your under bust, whatever you have, you divide it by 6. So I actually did mine and I got 0.8. Okay, that 0.8 is almost like 1 inch. Okay, so I have to share it on both sides, and then I went up to my shoulder line and divide my shoulder line together, my shoulder together, and then to connect it to the apex, which is also called my bust point. So on my across chest line, I went ahead to measure 0.7 to get the upper bust tightening. All right, so from there I connected it just as shown. Please don't get confused. And then after that, make sure you connect the lines to
So
meet
from
on
here
your hip,
now,
just like you see me.
from your
So
chest
from there,
line, come down by
sorry
half
guys, I
inch,
didn't know I
just like
was
you
not
see me
recording
do.
this, but
And then from
actually,
that chest
so
line,
from
measure
that your across
half inch
chest,
all the way to
go
your under
ahead
bust. When you
and
get to
measure
your under bust, to
half
get
inch.
the
So
cuff here,
from the
measure
half inch
1.2 here,
from the
and
center
then
front
connect it just
of your
as
bust,
shown. All right,
measure half inch all the way to
connect
your
it to come and meet
under
your
bust. So from that
bust
under
point
bust
from
minus
here.
the half
All
inch,
right,
from there
so
mark
I'm going to cut it
zero
out
point 0.2,
now
just like
because
you
we
see
can do
me,
the it's
you are seeing
time
it
to
on the
close the
screen,
guard.
and
I've
then
gone ahead to
connect the
I've not
lines.
put seam
So when I
allowance.
was doing this particular
It's time to close the dart now.
contouring, I
Okay,
didn't know that I was not
so I want to
recording,
close
but
the dart now.
with the explanation
You
again,
know,
it's
I
all
already
better.
marked
So
one
from there,
inch.
I've gone ahead to reduce the paper so I'll be able to close the dart. You can see the figure is already there. In order for you to know how to get the shape of your bust, just from the center measure your bust span. All right, like from the half inch that we actually remove from the center of the bust, measure your bust span. Mine is 7. That's how you saw the mark there, that 1 inch. Okay, so from there connect your lines just as shown. I hope this helps. Connect, make sure you connect it. In corsets, the corsets, the shape, like the bra cup is not actually round, it has that oval shape. All right, so just like you see it, connect it like that. So after connecting it, it depends on you. If you want it to be v-neck, you can shape it. If you want it to be round neck, but for the purpose of this tutorial and the style that I'm sewing, I want it to be, it has a yoke. Note it has a yoke. All right, so I want it to be around, the neck is not too high, so I actually use 4 inches as the width, and then 3.5 as the depth. Okay, for the depth of the neck, you can see the neck is not really too low. So I went ahead to close my dart, the upper bust tightening dart, to know if it's going to align, because I've noticed sometimes that after I finish sewing, I notice one is longer than one. So in order to correct it, I have to increase the center bust. Okay, so that when I'm sewing, I'll be able to meet up. All right, so just like that, I actually use 0.5 and 0.7 rather for the upper bust tightening. I'll go ahead and add it. I've added, that's going to give me 1.4. Okay, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you can always get notifications whenever I post. If I were you, I would do exactly just that. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Okay, so for the purpose of this tutorial, it's not really a v-neck, it's a high neck. Like the neck is not really high, but it's okay, and that's what I want. I went ahead to give it that shape. Okay, but if you want your one to have what's it called, a v-neck, you want to alter the neck, it's cool. Okay, but for this, that's how I want it. So I'll go ahead and remove the dart and cut it out already, just like you see me do. Note, I've not closed the side dart. Please don't go yet. I've not closed the side dart. I'm cutting it out now, just like you see me. And when you are cutting, please make sure you note you notch the center bust and the side bust. Okay, like you notch the bust point, so that when you are sewing it, you'll be able to align them together. Okay, just like this. So I want to close the dart now. I noticed it didn't align properly. Okay, if you check, it did not align properly, so I have to use my marker to correct it, so that when I'm sewing it will give me that shape, that brack up shape. So I almost forgot that I'm supposed to tape it, so I went ahead to use my masking tape to hold it down, so that when I'm cutting it to be able to lay properly, just like you see me. So make sure you notch the bust point. Okay, and notch both sides, and then when you're sewing it, please be careful. Okay, so go ahead. I didn't add sewing allowance, so I'm gonna ahead to add 1 inch. So that's first one, that's the upper bust that I removed. I've put it back. So go ahead and add 1 inch. If it's 1 inch you are going to put, or half inch, not half, 1.5 or 2 inches, it's okay. Note, I didn't want my own to be too tight on me, that's why I didn't snatch the waist. Okay, so if you want to snatch the waist, you can remove 1 inch from it, from your waistline. Okay, 1 inch or 1.5, if that's cool by you, but I don't really want it very tight on me. Okay, so that's it. I'm gonna ahead to cut it out, and that's it for the back, for the front rather. Oh, sorry, I almost forgot, it's a Basque corset. So I had, from my waistline, I brought it down by 2 inches. Okay, and then connect it to give me that Basque effect. All right, sorry guys. So just connect the lines together, and that's it. So make sure you cut it out. You can see there was no error. I've gone ahead to cut it out, just like as. So let's go to the back now. So the back, just like the way I did 1 inch for the shoulder line, go ahead and divide your shoulder back by 2 inches, by, yeah, by 2. And then my shoulder back is 14, so I have 7 there, and from that 7 I bring it down by 1 inch and connect to get the shoulder slope. So from that shoulder line, go ahead, in this for the back there is no under bust, so go ahead and measure your bust point, your waistline and your hip lines. That's the measurement we are needing for the back. Okay, and make sure you connect the lines, just as I didn't want to edit this part, so just be patient with me, so that we soon be done. Okay, please don't forget to like and share. Okay, and make sure you connect the lines. Okay, so just like I did, go ahead from your bust point. All right, from your bust point, measure 1.5 inches upward. Okay, you measure 1.5 inches upward. So go ahead and divide your bust span for the back into two, just like I always look, just like what I did, and then go ahead and measure your, take your body measurement, your bust, your waist, and your hip measurement. So after doing that, connect the lines straight, like from your bust to your hips, okay, not from your bust to your waist. Connect it. So now the distance between that line and that space and that your waist measurement is what you are going to use as your dart. Like I said earlier, you don't just assume your date, I mean your dart. It is what you get, okay. So from there, just make sure you connect your darts properly, just like you're seeing on the screen. Okay, now note, for this tutorial I'm not going to make use of a dart, so I'm going to get rid of it. Like I said earlier, go ahead and measure 1.5 inch upward from your bust line and connect it. That is going to be your across back. You know, I already told you we have shoulder back and we have the across back. So go ahead and measure, divide your across back measurements and connect the lines. So my across back measurement is 13, while my shoulder back measurement is 14. So the distance between your bust, whatever you have for the back, you divide it by 2, but for the front, as I said earlier, you divide it by um 4, and then you contour your armhole. So for the sake of this tutorial, you know it's going to be a yoke, so I am going to add half inch rather, and then connect the lines. So now I've gone ahead to divide my bust and my, to get my neck measurement 2.5. So in order not to stress myself, I have to bring the back, the front rather, the front yoke, and then connect it. So I actually brought it down by 2 inches because I don't really want it to be too low, okay, because it's going to have an opening at the back, okay. So from there, I went ahead to divide my shoulder into two, okay, so I can connect to meet the bust point, the back rather, yeah, okay. So now, assuming you are sewing bustier, this is the method you are still going to use, okay. I think I have a tutorial on how to sew bustier there. So because I wanted to have the looping, or whatever you might call it, either lacing or looping, I went ahead to remove 1.5 inch from there and then connect it, because there won't be no zip. I hardly sew this lacing because the stress of trying to fit in. Now for the back, I'm not making use of the dart, so I'm getting rid of the dart. If I wanted to remove the dart, I would have removed it from the side, but I'm getting rid of it too, just like this. So for the neckline, for the yoke rather, I'll bring it down. I actually brought the back down by 10 inches and then connect the lines together. So that serves as my yoke, alright. Now I went ahead to cut my, because I want the back to have a little opening, not really, I want it to have opening, and that's what you see me. If you don't want your own to have opening, you can leave it like that, but this is what I want, and I went ahead to cut it out, okay. So please be careful when cutting it, and make sure you indicate um the parts, okay. So I went ahead to have my add 1 inch for my measurement, as in for my seam, as my that serve as my seam allowance, and then I connect it just like as shown. So I went ahead to cut it out. So as well, I went ahead to cut the 1.5 including the dart, okay. So that's it. I went ahead to cut my yoke too. Actually did this because Okay, that's it. I indicated my yoke, that's my back yoke, and from there I went ahead to remove the dart. This one, there's nothing like, I don't even have the time to sew that. You just get rid of the dart and that's all, and it will give you the same fitting, and it will release you of the stress, relieve you of stress. So you can see now, there's no, if you follow this method, there's no, when you sew your clothes, there's no way you won't have a nice fitting. Just like I forgot that it's a back corset, I went ahead to bring it down by 2 inches, and like I almost forget it's a back corset. I went ahead to bring it up by 2 inches and then connect the lines just like I did to give me that back effect. Okay, so go ahead and cut it out, and that's it for the back. Okay, and when you are cutting your fabric, you're cutting placing it on your fabric, please make sure you had your um half-inch allowance. Okay, so that's it. I want you to place it just like this, and when you are sewing, make sure you had your half-inch allowance, guys. So please, if you find this tutorial interesting, if you know you learned something from it, please kindly give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and please don't forget to share. All right, okay, that's just it. I went ahead to lay it so that you can see properly. You can see everything is going to align. There is no two ways about it. That I removed does not have any effect on it. So I've gone ahead to cut the fabric just like you see. Make sure you had half inch all the way. Okay, just like this, and that's all. Thank you guys. Thank you.